And what that does is that super exciting after making the modification to the Oklahoma Joe to test it out with nothing more than a big brisket. And right here is where things got interesting. The power went out while I was trimming this brisket. I wasn't able to stop now, so I grabbed a flashlight, finished cleaning it, and was getting ready to season it. The trick is to only take off the real hard fat. You don't want to take it all off because that's a protective barrier. And you guys know the deal. Don't be afraid of the salt shaker. However much sticks to this bad boy, you see that? That's how much it gets. All right, so that fat cap, so just covered. And here's the other thing. Do not forget the edges, folks. But no, so the thing is you go fat cap down, and what that does is that protects the meat. You used to think you put the fat cap up, and then the fat runs down through the meat, makes it moist and juicy. And that's been proven to not be the case. But look at that. Tell me that thing does not look good. Into the fridge it goes. We got a problem. All right, lit the smoker this morning at 4 o'clock. By 5 o'clock, we had it rolling. Brisket went on. It now is at 10 o'clock in the morning. So we're 5 hours in. It got hot on me, but look up here. The new dampener is working like a charm. It rolled up to 375 on me, but I was able to finally control it. Shut it down. Within 10 minutes, I had dropped 75 degrees. So finally, the new dampener and the heat shield inside here are doing their job. Now, come on in. It's the first look. Here we go. Here we go. Whoa. Oh, my goodness. Get a close-up of that sizzle. Get that sizzle. Come on. Come on. Now we're temping. We're going to see if we're ready to wrap this thing up. And I would say we are. Look at that. You want to wrap your brisket right at the stall. Right at the stall, you wrap your brisket around 160, 170. So we're right there. We did fat cap down, oak firewood. Oh, we're right there. 160, so hang tight. We're going to go grab the butcher paper. All right, so the dampener is working absolutely flawless. We have complete control. This thing cranked up on me to 375 earlier. I was able to shut it down a little bit, get it back down to 250. Right now, we're at 200. So it's been a little over 4 hours since we were at 160, and we wrapped this bad boy up. So now we're gonna come over and see where we're at. Here we go. Ready? Oh my goodness. You gotta tell me. You know. We already know. Where's the thick side at on this bad boy? honest with you, I don't even know. That thing swell. Wow, I got that thing tight. That's inflated with steam. That's awesome. That thing is going to be tender. That thing is going to be tender. And so here's something else to think about. All right, so we're already up to 180. Something else to think about. The temp is extremely important. We're wanting 200, we're wanting 205. All right, so we're still at 180. So I knew we're getting close, but it's crazy. The brisket stall is literally, let's come on over here and let's check our firebox. It's been a while since we checked it. Well, that bad boy's hot. Of course, it's 100 degrees today. You barely even need wood to smoke today. It's so hot. But the stall for a brisket or any piece of meat is as real as it can get. Like it's legit. But really on brisket too. I gotta grab a couple smaller pieces here. We just about ran out of fire. That right there. That is the final piece. That's gonna get this baby rolling again. So I'm gonna go ahead, open the dampeners back up because we were down to 200. Just to let that new wood go because our fire was getting close. But I wasn't worried about it because I knew that brisket had to be getting close, but we still got another 20 degrees. And we'll just see right now because like I told you, it's at 2 something, so it literally took 4 hours to go from 160 to 180. That's the thing. The brisket stall, you got to be careful right here. You can keep cranking your temperature up, and all you're going to do is you're going to overcook that outside. That internal temp is going to get there when it gets there. It's a time thing. So you can see we got this baby rolling. Now I'll have to watch it. I can't forget about it here because I've got everything open back up. It ain't gonna take long and the temperature will get away from us again. But we're gonna keep logging this thing. So we had 4 hours to get 20 degrees. So now we're gonna go and see, we're at 180. We need another 20 degrees. We'll see how much longer it takes. But I think I got up at 4 o'clock this morning to light this thing like I told you guys earlier. And the main thing is so that we could eat the perfect brisket before midnight. So one quick thing too about oak. If you go to the internet and you talk to certain people, they're gonna tell you oak firewood is fine. You guys from Texas, feel free, whoever, jump in the comments and tell me otherwise. But my experience, I've heard from many different people that oak firewood's good as long as you get the bark off of it to make it, or else it'll be bitter. My experience, I run whatever the firewood looks like. Yeah, nice split pieces are great, but this right here, I'm still using the last firewood that I told you in previous videos from my big oak tree that had a big limb got blown down in a storm. And I run it with the bark on it, and I have never thought this tastes bitter. So just a little side note. All right, we just loaded her back up. Look at that. 250. Temperature came right back up. Gonna give her, shut that on down. And this new dampener, I mean, just look at that. Rolling. Just give her just a little. I don't want to shut her all the way off. Give her another, I don't know, 15 minutes. I'll give it another 15 minutes or so, and then we'll see. Still getting it figured out. You didn't watch that last video that I just put up with the Oklahoma Joe where I added that, and I also added the heat shield on the inside, but all that stuff seems to be working good, so stay tuned. All right, here we go again. Another 2 hours have passed since the last time we temped it. 2 hours ago, we were at 180. We've held a constant 250 degrees here on the Oklahoma Joe. So let's tempt this thing again. It's got to be getting close. Got to break that stall. Holy smokes, look at that, guys. There, now we're getting a reading on it. Look at that. We are at 210. Hallelujah. The brisket is done. But we got one more step. It's going in an ice, and that thing's got to rest. We got to just let it do its thing for another, as long as we can wait. Let's just be honest. There's a sweet spot. There's a perfect spot. But it's going to sit in there for at least about another hour because we got some jalapeno poppers we got to do first. So stay tuned. I wanted to record this part because you see how ridiculous this is with my tools that I'm using here. Just in case something embarrassing happened. Like I ditch a whole brisket. All right, wrapped up. There's a feed sack in the bottom. Don't worry, I'm not letting this touch any of that old nasty styrofoam. But that, folks, is my meat cooler. I've taken meat somewhere, put a couple pork butts or something in here. I've taken them off this thing, put a couple pork butts in there, served them up 5 or 6 hours later. Absolutely hot, had time to rest, still warm and toasty. Had a chance to reabsorb all that juice. Next scene you will see is that brisket being unwrapped and sliced. All right, so I lit that fire this morning at 4 a.m. It is now 7:30 p.m. This brisket went on at 5 o'clock this morning. We pulled it off at 5:30 at 210 degrees. I was so happy to see that. That Oklahoma Joe, I keep saying it, has performed flawlessly since the upgrade. But this is what we've all been waiting for. I mean, it has been resting for 2 hours. Got that thing wrapped up tight. A nice little side note, we had this wrapped so good. One of the times when we checked it, this was like a giant steam bag, and it's just paper. Oh, it's like unwrapping your Christmas present you've been waiting on your whole life. Oh, hey, we gotta get in there. Woo. Look at that fat. Look at that. Look at that fat just melt. You want to talk about? All right, here we go. Get in there. A knife. Who needs a knife? We need a fork. We need a fork, folks. Look at that bin. Oh my goodness. You know, the goal is always to make the absolute best piece of meat humanly possible. Get that right there. Look at that. And it is still hot, hot, hot. But not 210, so it's had time to rest. You know, every time I cook something on this channel, I'll title it as, is it perfect? Is this the perfect? That's not in the title this time, but it should be. This is absolutely phenomenal. Come back in on that one more time. Look at that smoke ring. We got close to a ½ inch of smoke ring. We got absolute juice. Did you guys see that? Watch that. That's not going, that's going across the grain. Ready? Right across the grain. Oh man. All right. My cameraman said, don't forget about the cameraman. Well, there you go. There you go. All right, one more shot. Oh, man. Now that is absolutely phenomenal. I'll be honest with you guys. We're getting ready to wrap this thing up because this is getting ready to get eaten. We've got baked beans in there. We've got jalapeno poppers. An absolute feast here on Pace Acre. So don't forget, guys, remember, feed your critters, love your neighbor, and follow Jesus. And cook something good.